All right, Mr. Rodriguez, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Let's talk about the scope of this lawsuit. Where did we begin? Where are we today? What does this involve?
We have now about 7 more families that we've added to the list of those who are seeking legal action against the medical examiner office of Nueces County. Nueces County has probably not faced a bigger issue of wrongdoing as has occurred in these cases. Our law firms continue to receive calls from residents of our community who have suffered various damages at the hands of the medical examiner office here. The count is no longer 15. We received 7 more families that have been signed as clients. And as the days go by, we receive calls constantly, all day, from potential new clients. And let me just summarize to you what we know so far. The residents of this county, in some situations, received word of a sudden tragic death of a loved one, a son or a daughter. In all of these cases, the death was unexpected. And so Texas law requires an examination be done, a medical examination be performed by a competent licensed physician under these circumstances. Unfortunately for these families, that did not occur here. Our investigation by the 2 law firms show that our clients are alleging the following. What they're alleging is that examinations were performed by a person who was not a licensed physician. Further, the director of that office, himself a physician, was aware that the license was lacking and covered it up. We are aware that a body was kept in the medical examiner office under its control, and it was retained for such a long period of time, the body deteriorated and there is decomposition of that body. Despite the overwhelming number of cases that this office had, the medical examiner found it fit to work outside by seeing patients and prescribing narcotic pain medications. He had a side business. There were excessive, unreasonable delays in performing the duties by this office in providing death certificates or an autopsy report. One of our cases involves an infant. One of the cases involves where the medical examiner met with our client, found out that the conclusion was wrong on its written report, and basically told the mother of the deceased, our client, what would you like the report conclusion to be? Some of the bodies now will be required to be exhumed for new examinations to be performed by a licensed physician. Several of the cases are resulting in a delay in the criminal prosecution or potential outright dismissal of the criminal charges based upon the report that was done by the office. This is a travesty. Our clients are seeking justice, and the number of cases is a result of negligence and gross negligence. It was a situation at this office that endured not for days, not for weeks, but for months. And hence, that is why the number of aggrieved residents who experience this unconscionable treatment increases. The residents of this county deserve better.
Since we were talking earlier, and I was talking about the emotion of this case, how hard it must be as a loved one to lose someone in the circumstances like you've described. Can you give us a sense of what the people that you're working with and that you're representing must be feeling in all of this?
We get calls from family members where they are grieving over the phone. And of course, it's obvious and natural they would be grieving over a lost loved one. But you can hear the emotion in their voices when they tell us it was an unexpected death. And we were wanting answers. Why did my son, why did my daughter die? And the state law allows us to try to get answers to those questions about our loved ones. And this incompetent office didn't perform that duty, didn't perform on that obligation, to the detriment of residents throughout this county. That is what's so wrong about what happened here.
And you talk about the 22 now that are being represented. Do you expect this thing to grow?
As I said, we receive calls all day long. And we gather the facts and circumstances of each case individually, what occurred, and then we get their names, we do an investigation, due diligence to see whether the case has merit. And I can assure you that the clients that we have are aggrieved, they're anguished over what happened to them, rightfully so, and they're entitled to justice, and that's what we're going to try to do for them.
Yeah, that is amazing. How did this all begin? Was this somebody coming to you? I'm just curious.
Well, I think, you've got months of news media articles referencing the case, and when bits by bits, when we found out about the lack of licensing, people being arrested, allegations of cover-up, and then law enforcement step in. The Texas Rangers step in, the district attorney locally stepping in. It was inevitable.
Yeah. That is just amazing. Anything else you would like to add or say regarding this case or the lawsuit? Or
no, and these are the damages that our clients have experienced. These are their allegations that they are lodging against the office here, and we intend to do the work that's necessary to have them obtain some justice.
And we're suing Nueces County, not the medical examiner?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not going to answer those questions yet because that is a liability issue that we're still going to withhold at this point as we continue to do our homework.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. Very good job.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being so succinct in giving us that information.
So I guess it did come out where you're going to be used a little bit, I guess.